All right, guys, this is the second half of 10.5. So if you didn't watch the first video, please go watch that before you watch this one because this one won't make a whole lot of sense. But if you have watched it, you're in the right place. All right, so let's review what a circumscribed angle was. Now, this was definitely in our vocab in the first video. Okay, so angle D here would be a circumscribed angle because it is tangent to the circle on both sides of it. So point A is a point of tangency and point B is a point of tangency. And as we already learned in our first video, angle D would equal 1/2 this arc. So this arc, I'm just gonna do that, minus, because it's outside of the circle, so this is minus this arc. Okay, and I'm just going to put arc above it. So the arc highlighted in green minus the arc highlighted here. So in order to find the measure of that angle, okay, we learned that in the first video. Now, there's also another cool factor with angle D. This theorem tells us about it. Circumscribed angle is equal to 180 minus the measure of the central angle that intercepts the same arc. I don't like the way Big Ideas words that, so I'm just going to write here that angle D and angle ACB, okay, so if A and B are the points of tangencies, if we connect those with C, that'd be that central angle. They are supplementary. Okay, they add up to 180. All right, let's do a couple of examples. All right, let's look at example 3 now. Example 3, X or angle D is a circumscribed angle. Okay, so we know that that angle and the angle that the points of tangency form, that central angle here, we know that these are supplementary. So 135 plus X equals 180 minus 135. I get X equals 45. Okay, that one should have been easy. All right, now over here, this one is a little bit different, a little more complicated here. Okay, so I know, and I'm going to go ahead and draw it here. Okay, I'm going to draw this angle here. I know this angle and this angle have to be supplementary, so 30 degrees plus angle G equals 180, and therefore angle G has to be 150 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, delete that there. I'm going to go ahead and say this is 150 degrees. Okay, this angle is 150. Now, if I know this central angle is 150, what would that tell me about the measure of arc FE? Okay, well, the central angle and the intercepted arc are the same, so if this is 150, the arc has to be 150 degrees as well. Okay, now notice that angle J, which is where X is, guys, this here is an inscribed angle. Remember, which is half the measure of the intercepted arc. Okay, so X has to be 1/2 of the intercepted arc, which is EF, so 1/2 of 150, which is 75. All right, let's look at example 4. Now, there will be a question similar to this on the test, so make sure you understand it. Highlight this, star it, I don't know, do something to allow yourself to come back to this as we study for the test next week. All right, I believe my notes for some reason had this missing from it, so go ahead and add that in. But it says the northern lights are bright flashes of colored light between 50 and 200 miles above the Earth. A flash occurs 150 miles above Earth at point C. So here's where the flash occurs, right here at C. What is the measure of arc BD? So you want to find the measure of this arc here, which is where the flash is visible from. Okay, and it does tell you the Earth's radius is approximately 4,000 degrees. Okay, so if the radius is 4,000 and the flash is 150 above, it would make sense that this is 4,150. Okay, now from here, think of this. This is as far as we could see it. So if we look here, we'd be looking on the other side. If we look here, we're looking up. So point B and point D are points of tangencies, which means that this has to be a right angle and this has to be a right angle. Okay? Now, think of it this way. If I wanted to find the measure of arc BD, that would be the same as angle BAD, that entire angle. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write or break it down here without all the added junk, just because I'm an airhead and it confuses me. So right angle, this is BACD, and this is 4,150, this is 4,000. Well guys, if this radius is 4,000, this is also a radius, so this is also 4,000. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to kind of think backwards here. To find the measure of this arc, it would be the same as this angle here. So I want to find the measure of this entire angle, okay? But I can't find it for the entire angle. What I can do is I can split this up. Notice these two angles are congruent, so I can split it up and find the measure of just this angle on the left, multiply it by 2, it's the entire angle. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to simplify this even more, okay? So this is my C, this is my B, this is my A, 4,150, 4,000, and this is part of my central angle. Okay, now let's go back to trig. Just because we're done with that chapter doesn't mean we can forget about it. I want to know this angle's measure, so I could use inverse trig function. So this would be opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. I have my adjacent, I have my hypotenuse, so SOHCAHTOA, adjacent hypotenuse goes to cosine. So I could say cosine of angle A equals adjacent, which is 4,000, over my hypotenuse, which is 4,150. Okay, now to find my angle measure, remember that's when we use inverse cosine. When I use inverse, these flop. So 4,000 over 4,150 equals angle A. And then when I put that into my calculator, I get theta is roughly 8.9 degrees. Okay, so this right here is 8.9 degrees, okay, which is this part right here. Well, now I know these two triangles are similar, so that means this here also has to be 8.9 degrees. And if I add both of them up, I would get the entire angle BAD, which is what, 17.8? 17.8 degrees. So this angle here is 17.8 degrees, which means since that's a central angle, that would mean it's the same of the intersected arc. So arc BD is also equal to 17.8 degrees, and that's my answer. All right, so we just did 3 examples, one very similar to this, one very similar to this, and one very similar to this. Now I want you to go through, use those we just did as a reference, and try to do these 3 on your own. Then we'll go over them. All right, so if we go over this, on part A, that was the easiest one. You just know that these 2 are supplementary. So x plus 120 equals 180. You get that x has to equal 60. Okay, now on B, this one was a little more work, and if my memory serves me correctly, I believe there might be one like this on your test too. So make sure you do something to draw your attention to look this over again before we take our test. So this 50 degrees, and I went ahead and drew this central angle right here. Both of those have to be supplementary, which means that central angle is 130 degrees. And if the central angle is 130, the measure of the arc has to be 130 as well. And then we know that angle T is an inscribed angle, which means that it's half the measure of its intercepted arc. So 130 divided by 2, or 1/2 times 130, same thing. You should have gotten that x equals 65. All right, now on to the word problem again. This one we're talking about Mount Rainier. Okay, so once again, I pulled out this right triangle here, up here. That's what this is. I labeled the sides that I know. And then I used, once again, this is cosine because I want to find this angle measure. And I get that this angle measure is 2.116. Okay, but when I go back to this diagram, I want 2 of those because these 2 are congruent triangles. And so when I add them, I get roughly 4.23. So 4.23 would be the measure of angle CAD, this central angle. And hopefully by now you know that the central angle and the intercepted arc have the same measure, which means the intercepted arc is also 4.23 degrees, which is your final answer.